All right, Illini fans, let's finish this game out together. Um, Illinois is winning as they should be, and let's take a look at what's going on. 3-point shooting, 10 out of 24. Free throws, 90% from the line, 9 out of 10. And let's see, you got 8 turnovers, which is, I guess you could say it's good for them, right? And 14 assists and 8 turnovers, which for them, um, that's a dream come true, I guess. So let's go to the players. Trent Frazier, 6 points. Demonte, 6 points. Kofi with 11. Plummer with 18. Hawkins with 5. And Granderson, 14. And Lou Good, 3. All right. So Demonte Williams feeling more aggressive tonight offensively, trying to score some buckets. Kofi 11 points, 11 rebounds. Alfonso, I'm glad that he wants to. I'm glad he wants to be a scorer. I'm glad he actually wants to contribute to the team. Well, imagine if Andre Corbello comes back as a changed man. Imagine he doesn't over dribble. Imagine he doesn't make turnovers. Imagine if he doesn't take bad shots. Imagine if he doesn't pay attention to what the opponent's trash talk is about him. Imagine that scenario. So, but Alfonso Plummer deciding to contribute is a wonderful addition. Yes, and even then, Kofi, he has left a few passes. Kofi was triple teamed a couple times where he tried to score. So there's still some passes left out there for him to take. But Trent Frazier going to the rim right there. Like, that's Alfonso Plummer. I'm sorry. Alfonso Plummer trying to be somebody. He's trying to be a player. And I'm all for it. Alfonso Plummer has taken over for Trent Frazier as a scoring option. Alfonso Plummer said, you know what, Trent Frazier? You don't want to score. You don't want to be the second scorer. Fine. I'll take it. It's mine. Good for Alfonso Plummer. Good for him. All right. So, and Granderson, 14 points. I haven't seen him score a point in a long time, though. Um, Rutgers, they got nothing going on offensively. Yeah, so Andre Cabello needs to come back a new man. He needs to come back a new man. No over dribbling, no bad shots, and no turnovers. He's got to play within the rhythm of the game. He's got to dictate the pace. In and out. Good rebound to Coleman. What a way to attack the rim, Coleman. All right. Instead of boxing out, they kind of got into a shoving match. There's no need to get into a little wrestling right there. I want to see Granderson just turn your back, box him out. No need for all that. Just turn your back, box him out, and go about your day. Should have passed it immediately, Kofi. I'll tell you what. I tell you what I wouldn't give for a 3-point marksman to be on Illinois this year. Could you imagine? I don't care if they're the most unathletic white guy in the world. Could you imagine a white player, 3-point marksman, unathletic? I don't care. Imagine him being in that position with Kofi. Oh my gosh, dude. Is it possible? Is it possible that we could get a 3-point shooter on the team today? Would it be possible? You do that little 2-man game with Kofi. Oh my gosh, dude. Oh my gosh. There you go, Coleman Hawkins. That's what I want to see. Attack the rim, get rewarded. Great job, Coleman Hawkins. Do I think Corbello will come back a changed man? He has to. He has to. I mean, he has to see that he's playing like dog crap. I mean, he has to see that. I mean, I'm sure the coaches believe me. Just like the coaches were telling Kofi you have to pass out of triple teams and double teams, the coaches are telling Andre, you gotta not listen to the opponent trash talk you. You gotta stop over dribbling. You gotta stop taking bad shots, and you gotta stop turning the ball over. You gotta be your best. Yes, it's obvious that Luke Good is the most capable freshman that we have today. That's obvious. It is also obvious that offensively, Omar Payne can give you absolutely nothing offensively, and that's a shame. It's a real shame. Um, so I tell you, if teams want to triple team Kofi, then it's up to people like Alfonso, Trent, Jacob, Luke Good to shoot that three and make him pay for it. Put Luke Good in there. Play the 2-man game with Luke Good. Kofi, Luke Good, play that 2-man game. You want to triple Kofi, shoot that three. You don't want to double him, give it back to Kofi, go for that dunk. I'll take it. But Andre Corbello, he has no choice. He's going to lose his starting job. He's going to come off the bench. He has to know he has to change. But the thing about Omar Payne is, okay, you know how you have like remember Ben Wallace, a Joe Kim Noah, Omar Payne. If he was on that level of rebounding and defense, you could say, okay, you can't score, but your defense and rebounding is so awesome that it makes up for it. He's not even close to that kind of player, defensively and rebound wise. I wish he was, but Illinois, they're feeling good about the game. Rutgers is not a good team though. They're not a good team. You should blow them out. You're doing what you should. But what's Trent Frazier? We got to get Trent Frazier going. Cincinnati is not the fourth best team in the country. I'm sorry to tell you. Notre Dame is not the sixth best team. That's a joke. Notre Dame has only played one ranked team this season, and it was Cincinnati, and they lost. Cincinnati has only played one ranked team this season. It was Notre Dame and they won. How does that justify Cincinnati number 4 and Notre Dame number 6? It doesn't. Ohio State is one of the top 4 teams in the country. Period. It should be Ohio State, Michigan, the winner of Georgia, Alabama. If Georgia loses and they only lose by 3, you can put them in there with Alabama. If Georgia gets blown out, obviously they're out of it. And you could have Oklahoma State be the 4th team, but Ohio State is a top 4 team. Um, just no doubt about it. But what a shame. What a shame. Well, you know, D Brown wasn't much of a shooter. Mateen Cleaves from Michigan State couldn't shoot. You can be you can make a difference in college basketball at the point guard position without being a 3-point shooter. All Corbello has to do is dictate the pace of the offense. Make good passes to when Kofi's open, hit him. When Coleman's going to the rim, hit him. When there's a wide open guy for 3, hit him. Um, D Brown was a hell of a shooter. No, he wasn't. D Brown was never a shooter. A better shooter than Andre Corbello, but that's not saying anything though. Illinois, let's see. Um, who was the last shooter for Illinois was probably, man, who was it? Was it Corey Bradford? Was Corey Bradford the last shooter they've had? You think D Brown was a good shooter? I don't remember that. Well, we'll have to take a look at D Brown. We'll have to take a look at it because I sure don't remember D Brown being a shooter. We'll have to take a look. There we go. I love seeing Alfonso Plummer actually doing something. There you go. 44, Jay. I've been around for 44 years. I seen Andy Kaufman play. The white headband gang is out there today. Let's look up old D Brown. Well, we better say Illinois. Oh, D Brown, he was a very, 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 very good player for Illinois. See, old D Brown. All right. So, see, his senior year shot 32% from 3. He shot a 43% one year. So, yeah, 1 year of quality 3-point shooting. Um, free throw percentage for a guard, and that's not good. 3-point percentage shooting overall, not good. Um, I don't know, Jay. I don't see this good shooter you're talking about, honestly. Um, for a guard to shoot 72% from the line is not good. 36% from the floor is not too good. Um, I'm not saying D Brown wasn't a great player. I was not saying that. D Brown is a Illinois legend, but what I'm just saying is like you remember Mateen Cleaves. Mateen Cleaves couldn't do anything offensively too much. But all I'm saying is Corbello doesn't need to be a great shooter, a good shooter. He needs to run the offense, and when Kofi's open, hit him immediately. When Plummer is open for the three, hit him immediately. When Coleman's going to the rim, hit him immediately. I just want to see Corbello play his best. But D Brown was a Illinois legend. I loved every minute he played for the team. I'll tell you what, though, it's too bad Bill Self left Illinois because if Bill Self would have stayed at Illinois, they would have got Charlie Villanueva, whatever. And you add Charlie Villanueva to that '05 team, they're going undefeated. So it's a real shame that Bill Self left. A real, real shame. What? Rutgers got a soccer team that's really good? A female soccer team? That's really strange. Don't you know you can't leave a white guy open? You cannot leave a white player open for three. I just don't know what people are thinking. You think D Brown was never a point guard, Jay? Um, D Brown was a point guard. Come on, who do you think you are, Steph Curry? Well, it's yeah, Bill Self. If he would have stayed, they would have won the title. Well, you got to have Andre Cabello playing at a high level if they're going to be any kind of contender for anything. Um, D Brown was a point guard, man. It was a it was a three guard lineup. So you had you basically had 3 point guards playing at one time. You had Deron, Luther, and D. So you basically had 3 point guards, 3 guard lineup. So all three of them were point guards. But anyway, that '05 team, they got cheated by the referees against North Carolina. And that was the end of that. The dang referees cheated Illinois so bad in that championship game. Well, Jay, if you think D Brown played shooting guard, you're dead wrong. If you think D Brown played small forward, you're dead wrong. D Brown was a point guard. He was a point guard. D Brown was not the shooting guard. D Brown was not a shooting guard. He was a point guard. Deron Williams was a point guard. You had 3 point guards starting the game, but D Brown was never ever a shooting guard. It's impossible. It's just impossible. There's never, in the history of basketball, there has never been a shooting guard that was 5'5" or 5'7". Jay, you're talking crazy. D Brown was not a shooting guard. He was a point guard. I'm telling you for a fact. D Brown was a point guard. But why are you arguing about it anyway? D Brown was not a good shooter, and he was a point guard. There's no need to even argue about it. Alfonso Plummer having a good day. All right, whatever. Like I said, it doesn't matter. You believe what you want to believe. If you want to believe D Brown was a shooting guard, then hey, believe that. Then doesn't bother me. Believe it. Trent Frazier, a small forward? No, no. Ideally, he wants Andre. He wants Andre to run that point. That's what he would love to happen. Trent Frazier's a point guard. He's just but like I said, you can have more than one point guard on the court. There's no rule against it. So you got Trent Frazier, you got Andre Cabello, and obviously, if you have three point guards in the backcourt, that's one heck of a backcourt. You got three players who can dribble, who can pass, who can be a playmaker. I mean, if you remember D. Brown and Deron Williams and Luther Head, that was one heck of a backcourt. There you go. This Illinois team doesn't have what '05 Illini had. This team doesn't have Trent Frazier is just not in the same category of a D. Brown, Deron Williams, or Luther Head. This Illini team doesn't have guards even in the same universe. So I just can't you just can't compare that. You just got the bench in that game. Well, looks like the coach has lost has lost some hope in Austin Hutcherson. Austin Hutcherson playing with the reserves, the bench, like the deep bench. What a shame. RJ's like, I'm gonna get mine. I like that. Good job. I like that, man. I like him. Like he comes in the game. He wants to get his. He wants to get his. Good for him. There you go. Dive on that. Dive on the court. There we go. There we go. Quinn Ewers transfer from Ohio State. How about you transfer to Illinois? Shoot it, Brandon. Oh, he got a little bucket. Good for him. Brandon, when you get that ball, go for yours, man. Go get a bucket, Brandon. Brandon's got to be redshirted. He needs to be redshirted because he's not going to play. Yeah, Brandon needs to redshirt because he's not going to play this year at all. Um, he needs to redshirt. That's for sure. All right, Illinois wins, easy win. Good job to Plummer, Granderson, Kofi, and yeah, easy win. Kofi with 15 boards and 13 points. If they're going to triple team him, double team him, you just got to make the pass. That's all. He did what he had to do. So, all right. We'll see. We'll see what happens when they play next. But